Hi, everybody. This is Dan Stolebarger, and I'm down here in San Diego visiting my mom and my son Trevor. Appreciate your prayers. But it's the week of September 9th, and it's time for our KFIR Middle East update. Just a reminder, go right away to our website at Holy Ground Explorations. Lower right hand side, click the icon, and you'll be able to access the PowerPoint that goes along with this video presentation. Let's jump right in. We always talk about the issues of the week. We've talked over the past few weeks about this mess that's involved in Syria. We've got Russians, we've got the Iranians, we've got the Turks now. Of course, we've got Hezbollah, we've got Al Qaeda and ISIS, and it's a mess. And so we're going to talk a little bit about this week. Obama was just at this G20 thing in China and tried to meet on the side with Putin. And obviously, there's no breakthrough with the Syrian crisis. In fact, Obama's gone on record to say there's too big of gaps that we have in our ability to trust Russia these days. And of course, Putin has gone on record saying, well, let's make it clear, whatever settlement or whatever we come to in this agreement with Syria, all steps forward must include Iran. Interesting when we think of all those nations in Ezekiel 38 and 39 that are going to come together, that are going to invade Israel from the north. Well, keep Russia in mind because Palestinian Authority leader Abbas said on Tuesday that he was willing to meet with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, no conditions whatsoever. Let's get together, let's talk, let's negotiate. The thing that's interesting about all this is that Abbas wants to meet in Moscow, and he wants the partner or the people that are going to be doing the negotiation to be the Russians. No John Kerry here, no Americans here. Once again, let's keep our eyes and ears open to what's taking place. We've talked a lot in the past with our friends at Palestinian Media Watch about that there really will not be any peace until we're dealing with the Palestinians brainwashing their children. Recently, we've talked about different curriculums. Palestinian educators and parents now are complaining about the newest official Palestinian Authority textbooks that have come out. They don't like the terminology, they don't like the geography, and basically their comments, it doesn't focus enough on spreading lies about Israel. Gosh, unbelievable. On the other hand, Netanyahu and educational minister Naftali Bennett are saying we want to start teaching Zionism in our schools. So we're going to begin instilling Zionist values into our school curriculum. Our goal is to revolutionize education. The revolution will be based on two things: excellence and Zionism. I don't know about you, but when I hear these things, I think the gap is widening, not coming together. And I don't like the chances, even with Russia negotiating this so-called peace deal between the Palestinians and the Israelis. Well, let's focus again back on the north, Golan Heights. Oftentimes we go to Mount Bental, we stand, we overlook, we're right next to the UN now, that they've gotten kicked out of the Quneitra area. And so when we're up there, I mean, what can I say? You see everything with your naked eye. ISIS is now on the Golan border. The ISIS terrorists are reportedly very close to the northern Israel border, but for now, it seems like they're mainly focused on the war in Syria and really their survival. A new video was released by the Islamic State, and it appears to show ISIS-affiliated groups fighting just mere kilometers from Israel's border on the southern part of the Golan Heights, standing up there looking over into Quneitra with the naked eye. I mean, on a clear day, you can actually see Damascus. And again, Israel is monitoring this very closely because not only do we have ISIS, but we have Hezbollah and we have Assad forces on the Golan as well. The Syrian army, the Lebanese-based Iranian proxy terrorist group Hezbollah, they're coordinating large-scale operations in southern Syria, again, near the border with Israel on the Golan Heights. This was reported by the Iranian news agency Fars. According to that report, Israel's assessment is that after these sides are finished, I mean, who's fighting who, right? But the one thing that they all hold in common is their hatred of Israel. So once the jihadists are finished with one another, whatever the ceasefire arrangement may be, their focus will be upon Israel. And so the IDF Golani Brigade, specifically, heavy Israeli presence on that northern border, both on the Lebanese side because of Hezbollah as well as the Syrian side. And so pick your poison. But remember, Israel is on alert, and we know the God of Israel. He neither sleeps nor slumbers. Well, a couple more reports before we sign off for today. As we've mentioned, we kind of focused on the Syrian situation. This is comments from the former director of Shin Bet, Avi Dichter, who now chairs the Parliament's Foreign Affairs and Defense Committees. And he's talking about we need to keep a wary eye on Syria as the conflict turns to, in his words, balagan. And again, this is a Hebrew word that means an absolute mess. Dichter goes on to say, he says, I know chaos is a better word for describing what's going on, but really it is balagan. It's a total mess. With chaos, he says, you know when it's going to stabilize, but balagan is something that no one really knows when it's going to be stable. As he put it, there's a debate about whether we're at the beginning of the end or just the end of the beginning. Balagan. Good word. Total mess. But once again, a reminder that it might be messy to us, but I just get the sense that this is a chessboard, that God has set the pieces up. And without going crazy and sounding weird, boy, the table's set for the end of days scenario. And as Jesus said, don't be deceived. Be alert. Study the Word of God. Know what the Word of God has to say about the end of days. Torah gleanings and quotable quotes to end up. I love this. We're in the Deuteronomy section where when a king was to come to the throne, it says in Deuteronomy that he was to write for himself a letter, perfect copy of the Torah. And it was said, the sages say, that when King David wrote, I have set the Lord always before me, because he's at my right hand, and I shall not be moved. That's Psalm 16. When David wrote this, he was referring to the scroll of the Torah, which he had tied to his arm. And then we'll end with a quotable quote for the week. Men of genius are admired. Men of wealth are envied. Men of power are feared. But only men of character are trusted. And then Proverbs 3. My son, do not lose sight of these. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. They will be life for your soul and adornment for your neck. and then you will walk on your way securely, and your foot will not stumble. Again, men of genius, admired, wealth, envied, power, feared, but only men of character are trusted. May that be said of all of us. God bless you all, and be back up in northern Idaho next week. So, shalom. And oh, by the way, we're heading off to Israel on the 22nd. We got a couple seats left, but you have to act now. So if you're interested in going along with us, it's an exciting time to be in the Holy Land. Give me an email, give me a shout, Dan at HGKFIR, that's HGKFIR.com. Shalom, God bless you.